Hey folks, Todd here. Today we're going to show you how to install the Elevate standard cargo basket from RealTruck. The tools we'll be using for this installation are a ratchet with 10mm socket, the included 4mm Allen wrench, an 1/8" Allen wrench, a silver Sharpie, a tape measure, and scissors. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is take the two halves of the basket and assemble them together. So we're just going to line up the tubes and click them together. Next, we're going to be installing our mounting covers. The way that goes on, this end right here goes to the bottom. It's going to go line up right to where the tubes go through, and this side is going to snap into place. And next, we're going to put the hardware through. Now, in your kit, you've got two different size bolts. You've got a 40mm bolt and a 35mm bolt. These are very similar in size. We're going to be using the 40mm bolt for this step. They're going to go through these holes, and on the bottom we're going to put a washer and lock nut. And we're going to tighten it down using a 4mm Allen wrench on the top and a 10mm socket on the bottom. All right, repeat the same for the mounting plate on the opposite side. Next, what we're going to do is find our clamp bases in our kit. So it's two pieces. You got the metal piece and the plastic on the bottom, and the grooves are going to match up with two of the poles inside the basket. What we're going to do, you just kind of slide it underneath there. Now this is going to be adjustable once we get it snapped in place. It's going to lay on top like so, and then this is going to line up with the pegs that are coming up, and we're going to press it down, and you hear it snap into place. Now this is adjustable forward and backwards, so we can line them up to our load bars. We'll repeat the same on this one, and then the two opposite from this side here. Okay, now I've gone ahead and I've placed this on top of our load bars. Now the load bars can be a maximum of about 35 3/8 of an inch apart, and that's because of the limitations of where these brackets can slide. So I'm going to lift up the bracket and slide this back along the load bar. Now you'll notice it can only come back about this far right here before it starts to hit the curve. So we want to have it in front of that curve. So what we're going to do is we're going to center this clamp over top of the load bar, the center part of the load bar, and do that for all four of the clamps. Now there are two different methods of fastening this to the load bars. We've got the clamp around approach where it goes around the load bar, and then we've also got the T-slot approach. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the clamp around approach. What we're going to do is snap the clamp plate together. We've got the rubber piece that snaps in. We're going to line that up underneath and use the 80mm bolts that come in our kit and tighten those down. Do that for all four clamps. Now for the T-slot installation, what I like to do is once we have the cargo basket set in place exactly where we want it, what I like to do is go underneath and make small marks on the load bar itself where these are sitting so that we know where to put our T-bolts. Now we can go ahead and pull the cargo basket out of the way. All right, next what we're going to do is go ahead and remove our end caps. We're going to use an 1/8" Allen wrench to loosen up the set screws on the top and the bottom, and the end cap's going to slide off. I'm going to remove this one and also this one here. All right, next what we're going to do is go ahead and pull out our gap filler and set that to the side. We'll be modifying that when we put it back in. Next, what we're going to do is take our T-bolts from our kit and slide two T-bolts in each one of the load bars and line them up to our marks. All right, now before we put the basket back in place, we can go ahead and modify our gap fillers and put those in place. Make sure you leave a little bit of space for the bracket to land on top of the load bar rather than on top of the gap filler. Then we can go ahead and reinstall our end caps. Okay, now we can go ahead and set our cargo basket back on top of the load bars. Make sure we line up the T-bolts with the center of our clamps. We can go ahead and attach our hardware to the T-bolts. We're going to use a flat washer followed by a nylock nut and then tighten that down with a 10mm. Do that on all four. All right, next on the remaining holes on our clamps, what we're going to do is use our 35mm bolts in the kit. We're going to go ahead and drop them through each one of those holes And then on the bottom, we'll use a flat washer and nylock nut. We'll hold the top side still with the included 4mm Allen wrench in our kit, and then tighten down the nylock nuts on the bottom using a 10mm. All right, repeat for the remaining screws. Well, it's just that simple, and that concludes the installation.